Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your weekend. We also have your boredom busters coming up, but first, our top story. South Dakotans and many people nationally are waiting to hear whether or not John Thune will seek another term in the U.S. Senate. Serving as Majority Whip, Thune is the second most powerful Republican in the state. Thune is now in his third term in office, having first won the seat in 2004, beating Democrat Tom Daschle. The primary election is on June 7th. Once we hear from Thune about his future political plans, we'll have coverage for you on air, online, and on social media. The 2022 South Dakota legislative session starts next week, but many bills are already pre-filed and ready for lawmakers to consider. 3 of those bills are on the radar of transgender rights advocates in the state. 2 are similar to one we saw last year that would limit who can participate in women's sports. The third, House Bill 1005, would designate any multi-occupancy bathrooms and showers in public schools to be used only by students of the same biological sex. Supporters say the bill promotes privacy, while opponents say the bill is targeting transgender youth.
There's also folks that are, business owners, leaders in this community that see these bills kind of tarnishing the reputation of our state. We see politicians and lawmakers touting that South Dakota is an open place for all people. But when we see policies like this proposed, it really contradicts that.
This is a issue about providing students, any student, for any reason, privacy. Why is that not a good idea? Why should students not be provided privacy in sleeping accommodations when taking a shower?
The legislative session begins on Tuesday. Let's get a first check of the forecast now with the meteorologist Adam Root in the Storm Center. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Perry, and good morning, everybody. It is going to be a mild first half of the weekend, a preview of what's to come, but the second half, not so much. Outside we go with a view downtown. 21 on this Saturday morning, a southerly breeze at 9 miles per hour, and that southerly wind will turn to the northwest as we head later this evening with the passage of a cold front. Ahead of the boundary, we still have that southerly wind in place. We also have temperatures in the 20s and a few upper teens out there, like in Brookings and Worthington right now. But to the west, we've been able to at least get into the 30s for now. There is a bit of a free fall on the way as winds turn to the west by northwest and usher in a rather cold air mass. We are also going to be talking about wind chill values that are going to likely be in the single and double digits below zero as we head into the second half of the weekend. Air temperatures are going to be on either side of zero in many locations, not just tonight, but also tomorrow night as well, especially East River. To the west, though, we hang on to that milder air as that takes over by Tuesday. We'll talk about your full 7-day forecast coming up.
All right, thank you very much, Adam. Well, dozens of bald eagles are putting on an aerial show along the bluffs of the Missouri River near Yankton. Wildlife officials believe they've been gathering here for days, mainly because of the open water and fresh food supply. People from all over have been stopping by to take in the spectacular views.
So if they're looking at eagles, bring binoculars with you. Make sure you're pulling off the side of the road and, using your common sense. But, yeah, bring those tools and it'll help you get a better picture of them.
The bald eagle was taken off the endangered species list back in 1995 because their numbers have been soaring. Tubers will finally be able to hit the hill at Great Bear Ski Valley today. The tubing hill was scheduled to open Friday, but a loose wheel on the snowcat that grooms the hill has delayed its opening until this afternoon.
When you push snow for a week straight like we were doing, and that's heavy, wet snow, invariably something's going to break. And it is very cold out as well, so that's hard on, equipment.
The tubing hill opens for the season today at 1 p.m. Great Bear's hours are from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. for skiing and snowboarding. Laser tubing will take place from 9 to 11 p.m. Frosty Frolics in Sioux Falls includes a fun run walk at 9:30 at Spencer Park. It costs $5 to participate. An ice fishing frenzy takes place from 10 to noon at Family Park. Poles will be available on a first-come, first-served basis. Winter yoga will take place from noon to 3 in the Sertoma Park Shelter. A snowshoe stroll will be held from 1 to 4 at the Mary Jo Wagner Arboretum. Snowshoes are available on a first-come, first-served basis. And human foosball takes place from 3:30 to 5 p.m. at Sherman Park. Adam?
Well, if we're going to get outside today, like I said, it is going to be milder with highs in the 30s, even near 40. But especially to the east, we're going to be dealing with a decent bit of cloud cover. That does get out of here overnight with the passage of a very dry cold front. That's the good news. The bad news is, well, we are back to square one in terms of cold air coming back in. Not as bad as what we had seen Wednesday, Thursday, and to a lesser extent Friday, but it is still something to consider if you do have any outdoor plans. There's our cold front. Not a whole lot of moisture associated with it, but cloud cover ahead, clear skies behind it, not to mention that cold air mass lurking to the north and west. That will kind of funnel on in as we head through the evening and into the night. So what we do get today, don't get used to it quite yet. By the middle of the week, though, we do try and right the ship. So here we go through Futurecast, and you notice we have that northwesterly flow very much in place as we head through the afternoon and evening. Temperatures go into a free fall overnight into Sunday morning. Now, Sunday afternoon and evening, we may see a weak little clipper try, and I do mean try, to make its presence known up toward Aberdeen, Watertown, and Sisseton. Maybe a flurry or two, but otherwise it's a moisture-starved system. From there, we just go right back to staying nice and quiet. One more chilly day East River on Monday, but then everybody gets in on some mild weather as we head toward the middle of the week. We're going to be talking about high temperatures, a decent bit above average for this time of year, into the 40s, even a couple of 50s, not out of the question out west, especially by Wednesday and Thursday. Toward the end of next week into next weekend, temperatures do attempt to moderate a little bit and get closer to, if not just a little bit below average, beyond the 7-day forecast. Highs today, climbing into the 30s and 40s across much of the area, some 20s by the North Dakota border. Highs further north are going to peak early and then go into that tailspin as we head through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening. Overnight lows, single digits above and below zero, and that's without the wind chill, which will likely be in the double digits below zero at times. So plan accordingly as you get ready for your day on Sunday. Speaking of which, 20s in Sioux Falls as we take a look at the 7-day outlook. But notice by Tuesday, we climb into the 40s and stay there through Thursday. For now, we have a small chance for a few snow showers on Friday, but beyond that, much of the extended outlook is pretty dry. Have a great day, everybody. For more on your local news, weather, and sports, you can always head on over to KELOLAND.com.